Hey, it's Heather here. Just gonna go ahead and shoot another video. I ended my last video and I was crying and I was upset because of a coincidence, I guess. And I don't know, it might not have been because I don't know. I honestly don't fucking know. And now I'm kind of angry, like thinking if it's not a coincidence, and then I'm like, don't be angry. But if somebody got so mad because of something that I said, I would respect them more if they came to me and talked to me, I guess. But whatever. I guess it's tit for tat, supposedly. I don't know. And then I just wonder if it's like I've said, I believe in karma and I believe in the ripple effect and the backwards ripple effect. And so you send anything out, it comes back at you. But when you send something out with no ill intent, this has been my whole fucking life. In a nutshell, when you send something out and you have no ill intent involved when you send it out, when you send out something, and it returns back with the ill intent, like, what the fuck do you do with that? It's like I was gonna spend all fucking day crying, and I sat here like 5 minutes probably after I ended my last video, and I was like, I can't sit here and cry all fucking day. Because even though I'm battling depression, or whatever, I can't fucking do that. I was like, I would rather sleep and be like, I slept instead of I cried. And when you sleep, you can't think of suicidal thoughts and you can't think of over depressed thoughts. And then that's even gotten to my mind before. Is depression just lack of sleep for people that need more sleep to process? Because even though when I was a kid, my dad would beat me so bad that I would pass out. And then I'd wake up hours later in my bed, like he would carry me to my bed. I assume, or somebody carried me to my bed. I assume it was him to hide the evidence or whatever. And that I was in his room where he beat the shit out of me. And so, I slept then, but like for as far as my childhood and everything, I was forced to wake up at a certain time. When they wanted me up, they wanted me up. When they wanted me asleep, they wanted me asleep. When I was sleepy, I remember being screamed at for being tired and all this stuff and everything. And so I've wondered that sometimes too in dealing with depression, if it's just your body never got enough sleep, in all honesty. And then because your body's trying to catch up on it, and now it needs more to catch up on it, and then people judge you because you slept so much, then you feel bad about catching up on the sleep, the very thing that your body's needing or whatever, or your body tells you that you're needing. And I don't know. I've wondered that before. I really have. But anyways, like I sat here and I was like, should I go buy some drinks? Should I go buy some drinks and get drunk? And I was like, I think, like, even when I was laying down in my bed, because I went and laid in bed, and I was like, I'm going to try to go to sleep. And I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to go to sleep. And then I cried for another minute or two, and I was like, I'm not going to do this. Clarabelle, get out of there. I was like, but I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to cry about this. And I was like, because it's stupid. And I was like, and it could have just been a coincidence. And then even if it's not like I know this person or these people so well that it's like they're a huge part of my life. When you look up to somebody, I guess, or when you are a fan of somebody, then yeah, they're kind of a part of your life slightly. But in all honesty, a lot of people have disappointed me over the years that I looked up to that were just regular average Joes, and so people that disappoint me that's bigger or whatever, like, it's like whatever. But Anyway, so I went and laid down, and I was laying there, and I was like, should I get something to drink, and get drunk and cry about it? And I was like, but I don't want to cry about it. And I was like, and I know if I drink that I'm going to cry, and then I'm going to be angry, and then I'm going to cry, and then I'm going to be angry. And it's going to be back and forth until I finally just cry a lot. And then I'll laugh it off probably, or that's what I'm thinking in my head, which I have no idea. I've not drank a lot, so, but I know that I've cried before when I've drank and laughed things off, and gotten angry, even, being a smart ass, I guess, but, so I was like, yeah, let me do that, and then I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna do that, and then I laid there in bed, and then, because I cried and I stopped myself, I could feel all this sinus pressure building up, and everything, and my nose was running too, and luckily it's warm outside today, so it's been warmer in here and everything, and so my nose ain't running, even though it may eventually, I don't know, but and I actually took and drew where the sinus pressure was all through my face and everything, because I was in there kind of massaging my face a little bit and stuff and everything. And then I was like, I'm just going to go to sleep, even though I don't want to, and I don't want to waste my days, and I don't want to waste hours. And then I was like, fuck, I'm wasting my whole goddamn life. What the hell does it matter? And then I just went to sleep, and so I slept until I just woke up now. But it's I don't know what's going on. I know, I don't know. I suck at life. If life were a game, I would have failed 100,000 times. I just suck at life, I guess. And then just now when I got up, I had this kind of anger about the situation, and I was like, what would I do typically? I know what I would do typically, back in the day. I would have got a notebook. If I was 15, I would have got a fucking notebook, sat down, and I would have wrote a stingy song is the best way to put it. It would have been kind of hateful, in direction to this. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste time doing that. And I was like, and that's exactly what kind of happened on my end. And I'm not going to, and I was like, and then even if I never, and I was like, I don't even know why I've tried to write past losing that first notebook, because I got so fucking discouraged. I just started this notebook since I've been living here the past 2.5, maybe 3 years. Because when you're stepped on and treated like shit, and your shit stole from you, and you're exploited is the best way to put it, and everything, you're fucking hell. And all my fucking, I don't know, everything clashes inside my mind. Everything I'm taught from everything I was taught to everything I'm still being taught about life. Everything is just constant clashing up against each other, and nothing makes sense. And I don't even know. I think of the random, the most random shit sometimes, and I'm just like, my God, and who raised me? And I know who raised me, and I'm like, what the fuck did they do to me? And then I'm like, the town that I lived in, and stuff, and everything. But I didn't cry, so I'm kind of proud of myself for not sitting around crying about somebody I don't even know personally. And that's the thing too that might have ticked them off and made them say something, as I mentioned how I'd had a deja vu of them, and I literally fucking was worried about them dying and stuff, and so I tried to contact them and just be like, don't be racing. I don't know how, you're gonna think I'm a moron and an idiot out of nowhere, but just don't be racing, because if you do, you're gonna fucking die. like premonition, like, and I don't even fucking know you to be having premonitions about you, but there you go. Like, I was watching your videos a lot, and I don't know, and like, it just hit me. And then, like, I've wondered about that. And then, like, I've talked in my previous, like, if you're pagan or you believe in, that and worship Satan or whatever and stuff like that. And then it's like, I've looked into trying to figure out if a witch technically does exist, am I a witch? And then, just like with anything, it's like, oh, there's the great white witch, there's the great, like, there's all these shit and aspects, supposedly, that you've heard, fairy tales and fables and shit over the years. And I even thought this to myself last night before I went to sleep. I thought, if witches do exist, and if I'm some form of a witch, or even if I'm not, with as much as I've talked about just being spiritual and stuff like that, and with having premonitions, I was like, can I just go back to when the fucking Salem witch trials were going on and somebody kill me? Because, like, you would have got hung and, burnt to a crisp or what the fuck ever for even having a premonition back in the day, And it's like, I've had premonitions, and I have everything comes back to me coincidental, and I broke down crying one time to my husband because I'd read in the Bible and it talked about the mouth of the South and the one that's gonna bring and I was like, I feel like that's me to him. And he's like, like, he was like, I don't know what to do with you. And he didn't want to say that I was crazy, but I could tell that he thought that I was. And I was like, and I feel like I am too. I was like, but I don't fucking know what the damn deal is, and I was like, so I'm just not going to read this anymore. And I just put it aside, I put my Bible aside, and I was like, maybe it's the way that my mind's breaking down the reads in the Bible and everything. I was like, but it's like things just kind of clicked in my head, when I read that. And I was just like, holy shit, am I this bad person? Am I this bad thing? And then I've been thinking about that, and like my, the girl that I fell in love with and everything, like, she's into a little bit darker stuff than I am. Like, for as far as I understand, like, she looks into it, she knows about it, she's studied up on it, she's done her research on some type of darker shit than what the fuck I'm in. I'm like all little goody two shoes over here shit and everything. And that even kind of has made me sick and everything, to a degree. And that's the reason I guess I'm so angry and everything about stuff. But it's like, I was sitting here thinking about her, and then I was thinking about other people, and I was thinking about, like, if they are dark and if they are evil and stuff like that. And like, how would you like being, like, this is like my fucking mind, this is how my mind thinks and goes and everything. But say you came to the realization, like, say you were fucking born, and say you lived till you was like 20, and then, like, your mom, let's say, or your dad came along and was like, hey, you know what? You're a demon, or you're an evil person, or you're a witch or a warlock, if that shit exists, or, you're a monster or something along that lines. And so you now have this knowledge, if you will, that you're a bad person, if you will. And this is all just hypothetical, like, just my mind, like, thinking things in the depth that I do, and I don't even know why I do. But it's like, kind of, I guess the reason I did, like, when I was thinking of her is like a defense, for her, like, kind of being into darker things if she is, because when you love somebody, you want to defend them type shit, and like, and so anyways, I was just like, Imagine growing up and then being told, you're this evil monster, if you will. And what do you do with that? What would you do with that? Would you go and kill yourself and put yourself out of your misery and out of everybody else's misery, and so that way you're not causing harm, and that way you're not, being this evil thing that you're inherently intended to be? Or would you stay alive and serve your purpose? Because everything has purpose. And in the Bible, everything has purpose. The evil that exists has purpose. Satan has a purpose, If it wasn't for Satan being evil, then the evils of the world would not come, and then the end of the world would not come, and Revelations would not come. And so, I don't even know. And then, in all honesty, this just pinged in my head while I'm sitting here thinking about it. My kid was into Monster High dolls, and so is my niece and everything. And it's be you, and all that. Be proud of who you are, and they're monsters. And so you're teaching kids to be proud, to be greedy, narcissistic, monsters that only give a shit about themselves and put themselves ahead of everybody, and they manipulate and they step on, and they, are not afraid to, exploit others for their own gratification or value or whatever. And I was just holy shit, I'm on some deep shit, I'm just, it's crazy, I don't even know. But what would you do if you still felt that you had a purpose, but you knew you were evil, I guess you could say? Would you end your life because you're oh, I'm evil, or would you stay around and serve your purpose? And I don't even know what to say to that myself, other than just damn, just holy shit, damn, fuck. For instance, tarot readers that I've been watching, some of them, they're oh, there's the fake tarot readers, and tarot reading's been going on for this long. But tarot reading has exploded over this past year, because everybody's got into it, and it's the year of Aquarian and all this and stuff. And I'm not sitting here and researched, when everybody's channels came out, when they got so popular and stuff, and if they just got popular this year for as far as tarot readings and stuff, and all kinds of shit like that. I have no idea about, the baseline of how things originated and how popular shit has become in this past year or past 6 months even. But I'm just can you imagine that if tarot reading is evil, and that is your sin of choice, if you will, and you feel drawn to do that, and you feel you're serving your purpose, and you feel rewarded yourself for doing that because you're serving the purpose that God put you on the face of the planet to serve, even if it's evil, malicious, or just negative, coming from a negative standpoint and everything. It's just fucked up. It's so fucked up. God, is it so fucked up. And then, there's the sayings that, because, like I said, I drew on my face, because I was drawing, where the sinus pressure was at when I was crying earlier and shit. And so, whenever I got up, I had to wash my face. And I think it's this ear. This ear's forward more than this ear. But anyways, I got to looking at my ears, and I was like, God, why did you make my ears like that? It's so annoying to me sometimes. It's noticing your faults and everything. And then I was the girl that I fell in love with had really tiny ears, and she's I hate my ears, because I was kind of teasing her about her ears or whatever, not teasing her in a joking way, but I was I thought her ears were cute, but she had really tiny ears. And then my friend Jen has even smaller ears than this girl did. And I've always heard that people with tiny ears are very stingy. And that's the saying that I grew up around. And, like, it's a saying in the South, for as far as I'm concerned. And people with big ears are generous, and people with tiny ears are stingy. And I was like, and my sister's ears are smaller than mine, but they're not as small as these other two people. And then my papa Stacy, his ears were small. And sometimes I've wondered if I'm related to Jim. I ain't even gonna lie. And it kind of freaks me out. And then I've wondered if I'm even related to this other person that I fell in love with. Because just, I feel like I've seen her before. And then that freaks me out, like, feeling like that about anybody. Because, like I said, I mean, hell, I had a premonition of a guy that I just seen on fucking YouTube, you know? And I feel like I even seen him before I started watching him on YouTube. I feel like I seen him once here at the mall when I was a kid. And that would have been many, many years ago. And how the hell I would have remembered that. And I'm just like, I swear to God, like, I feel like, you know, me and my friend were outside walking around, and he pulled up with his buddy, and he was in the passenger seat, if I remember correctly, of a truck, and his buddy was in the driver's seat, or maybe it was vice versa, and they was like, hey, y'all want to come hang out? And we was like, no. Like, my friend was kind of like, yeah, let's go, and I was like, eh. Because, like I said, like, I'm a goody two-shoes type person. And then I even remember what damn shirt I had on and what damn hat I had on. I had on a white hat. That's my white hat that I've worn before. Well, it ain't white no more. It's so old. And I had on a Budweiser long sleeve red Dale Earnhardt Jr. racing shirt. Like, and I mean, why would I have that if it's not a true memory and everything? And I don't know. And like, I don't even fucking know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right in life. And I feel like I'm just going through floating, piddling like I have been for a very long time, because I feel more comfortable in, I don't want to say the lesser responsibility, because I'm still responsible, because choosing to not choose is a, you know, and it's not like I go through life and I don't choose things, but I don't know. I'm just all fucked up, I guess. My life's just all fucked up, and I don't know what I am. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know why I have premonitions occasionally. I don't know why I've seen ghosts when I was younger sometimes. Not a lot, but enough to make you be like, what the fuck? I don't know why I have the dreams and the foresight that I sometimes do to prevent bad things from occurring. I don't know. I don't know who I am or what my purpose is. And sometimes it's like, is my purpose really big or is my purpose really small? And it's like, well, if I never do anything, then my purpose is really small. And I'm like, yay, that's what I want, kinda. Like, small purpose. Don't give me any big shoes to fill, you know? But then that's stupid and everything, because every living person, to a degree, actually has big shoes to fill. We all are part of the larger purpose of God, you know? And so it's just like, fuck my life, fuck this shit, fuck everything. And then it honestly makes me want to be like, I'm just gonna go to sleep and never wake up. I'm just gonna crawl in bed and sleep forever and never ever wake up. And never have to think about anything and never have to do anything again. And, you know, say hi to people when I see them on occasion, and then it's like, wait, I don't even want to see people and say hi, you know, like, I just want to die. And then this is where the suicide talk type thoughts come into play, you know, dealing with depression, because it's just like, if you get on this mundane, what's the word I'm looking for? This mundane, like, just shitty circle of life where it's like you're never going to do anything big because you don't want to create too many ripples. There you go. That are going to come back on you really hard and really mean and really, you know. And so I can't even make a YouTube video and mention somebody's name without it fucking coming back to me, whether they did it maliciously, with intent, or on purpose, or it's just coincidence. But still, I got the message. It came back. So if I can make a little ripple just putting a YouTube video up, and I only have like 3 subscribers, you know, or 2 or whatever, and I can just, you know, hey, you know, so-and-so in my video, and I'm a fan of yours, or I like the way that you do this, or you said this in one of your videos, and I disagree with it, but not, you know, but I'm just using it as an example to talk to my people on my page. It's nothing to bring you down. It's not to make you look bad. I didn't make you look bad, for as far as I know, for saying what I said. So it's nothing did. God, I'm as Southern as they fucking come. It's nothing done with, you know, any type of malicious intent. And that comes back at me, with or without you doing it, with or without you realizing that you're doing it. And I'm just like, shit, you know? And I'm like, okay, back to mediocre life over here of, you know, just work at a fucking restaurant forever and a day and never do anything because you don't want the repercussions, you know, of what you might do, you know. But I'm dying in this mediocre life, I feel like. And so I want to do something big with my life, but I want to make sure that it's done good or correctly. But it's just like raising a kid. There's no fucking rule books, and you got to do shit yourself. And so apparently, for as far as the courts are concerned here, which is stupid as fuck, my dad touching me when I was a child, my dad beating the shit out of me until I passed out as a kid, him leaving bruises on me, you know, and me having to wear long pants and long sleeve shirts to fucking school and lie to my counselor, and my counselor trying to break me and trying to get me to admit to it, and me being petrified because my grandmother told me if I told on him that she would make sure that I never seen anybody in the family again. And this is my last living grandparent that's still alive to this day, the only one that I got left. And, you know, and people have thrown off on her in the family and been like, oh, the reason she's still alive is because she's mean. She's too mean to fucking die, you know. And when they've said that to me, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, she's the one that threatened me and told me not to tell on my dad for being abusive, or I would never see my family again. And that meant a lot to me, especially when I idolized my sister, because my sister was the golden child. And so I'm just like, yeah, maybe they're right, you know, like, and then I'm like, because my other grandparents are dead, and they never fucking threatened me, you know, with anything. Even, like, they never fucking threatened me at all, you know. Like, my granny would kind of be like, if you don't sit down, I'm gonna get you, you know, or something, whenever I was, you know, being real rambunctious over at her house, because it's the only place I could be a kid at. But, fucking hell, like, nobody got on to him, nobody went back and nobody sabotaged him, and he hasn't paid any type of shit, you know, or whatever, for as far as I'm concerned, you know, in dealing with that. And from his generation, well, that's just the normal thing to do. But apparently in my generation, what is even being shown on the fucking news, you know, and shit to be a normal thing of our generation, oh, it's not for me. Like, I can't, like, that's one thing when I was talking to my neighbor or whatever. She's like, I can't get away with doing anything bad. I can't get away with shit. She's like, I can't get away, and that's me. I can't even get away with things that I'm doing with no intent of being mean or bad or whatever. I can't get away with shit. I literally cannot get away with a damn thing. That's the reason, like, I even was like, oh, I drew on my face because my sinuses was all backed up, and so I took a little marker, and I was just, like, in there, and I was like, oh, it feels so good. It's right here and right there, and everything. So I had all these lines on my face whenever I got up out of bed. But the reason I'm even putting that out there is because it's like, if I didn't, I'm sure it would fucking come back, somehow on me. Like, and, I mean, I just fucking can't do shit. Like, I don't even know. And so then, in that, it's like, okay, mediocre life, don't do shit. Just sit here and be some numb little robot that never does anything and just lives in apartments and goes to work and pays their bills and never goes anywhere for fun and keep watching the same movies for 50 fucking years and then just die. So that way there's no backlash of you going outside of your little box that you're put in by who the fuck ever. But it's like, I'm tired of the box. I've never been one for fitting into the box to fucking begin with. I've been peeking my head out and climbing my ass over the fucking box for as long as I can fucking remember, just to get scared every fucking time, or get hit in the head, or what the fuck ever, and to go back into the fucking box. And it's like, I don't want in the box, I want out of the box. And then it's like, oh, are you sure? Are you sure you want outside? And I'm like, yes. And then it's like, even at the cost of everything, and it's like, no. I don't know. I don't know what my purpose is, and I can't tell anybody else what their freaking purpose is. But back to my friends and or that girl and my friend or whatever, and their ears being small, my sister's ears being small, supposedly that means that you're stingy. And then I looked at my ears and I was like, my ears are kind of small, but they're bigger than theirs, And then I got to thinking about people with big ears and how they're supposed to be nice and everything. And my other papaw, the one that died when I was 7 that I was so close to, he had big ears, And I don't know if he was ever... Well, yeah, he was generous, I guess. Because anytime he had food, he would always half it down the middle with me. It didn't matter if I just ate or what. And if I couldn't eat it all, then he'd eat what I couldn't, But he always split his food down the middle with me. Every fucking time. And I remember that as plain as day, Lord, I miss him. I miss him so much. Oh, and then that's another thing, too, like Sidetracked or whatever. And I'm not going to mention anybody's name or the name of their band that they're in or whatever, but there's this guy that's older than me by about 10 years, and he is a lead singer of a band, and he is a Capricorn. And the band I heard of a long time ago when I was younger, and I seen him, and I was like, he's cute, to my sister, and she's like, he's ugly, and I was like, no, he's not, and she's like, here, let me show you this other video that he's in. So she showed me, and I'm like, that's him, and she's like, yeah, and I was like, and I was like, well, I still think he's kind of cute, or whatever, and she's like, I think he's ugly. I was like, Brandy, shut up, And I was like, well, good, it's a singer, and we both got different views on him. That's the first time in a minute, Because usually they're cute, they're pretty, or whatever and stuff, and then, except for girls. Now, any girl, I swear to God, my sister is so, hateful when it comes to females. And this is just female actresses, bands, or whatever. I've never heard her refer to another. And this is probably dealing with her being a golden child and her becoming a narcissist and my mom being one or whatever. I've never heard her look at another woman and call another woman pretty. Even just pretty. Ever. Shit far, go all your life and you never even think a woman's pretty and you're a woman, what do you think of yourself then? Jesus Christ, Cause I would be like, oh, I like this and that or whatever, and maybe I was meant to be gay, I've said before or whatever, but I'll be like, oh, I think she's pretty, and she'd be like, she's ugly, she's stupid, oh my god. And then people, because my sister there for a while, she had her hair literally kind of the same length and color or whatever as a actress, and people were like, you look like her, you look like this actress. And my sister's like, that is so insulting, people keep telling me that all the time. But my sister did look like this actress, except for this actress' face was smaller, but other than that, like, I'm talking like almost a dead ringer. And like even the way her teeth are, because she's got like a slight like overbite, and it's just very slight, or whatever, but she still got one, and so does the actress, and I was just like, damn, but so anyways, my sister said that this guy, this lead singer of a band, that she thought he was ugly, and so the other night I went and like looked up pictures of him on Google just for the hell of it, and I was like, he's still cute. And I was like, I still think he's cute. And then I found out he was a Capricorn, and I was like, that might be why I'm even attracted to him also. Because that's what my papa was, a Capricorn. And then my sister's longtime boyfriend of 7 years was a Capricorn, and he hit on me, and that really fucked me up, because, I used to think of him like my brother, because, I fucking adored him. I would talk to him about anything. But I don't know. And then this girl that I ended up falling in love with, she's an earth sign. She's not a Capricorn, but she's an earth sign. And I'm like, that's the first earth person that I've been close to since my papa died, to a degree. Other than my sister's boyfriend, talking to him and shit. Then I found out that we have a mutual friend on Facebook just the other day, because he's come out of his hole where he's been for a couple of years, and he actually wrote a comment on Facebook, and I was like, holy shit. Oh my god, that hurt. I'm gonna go, please. Oh. But, yeah, I've been talking for almost 40 minutes. I'm gonna end it here. This is just like a catch up from earlier, and just talking about random shit. I don't even know what to label it. I don't even think I'm gonna fucking label it right now. I'm just gonna put a bunch of damn dots, because I get tired of trying to figure out what to label shit, and then I forget it, and then I go back and I watch, and I'm like, well, let me put that in the label too. And then I'm like, wait, should I put that in the description? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna put it in the fucking label, because it's what the fuck I'm talking about. But I'm gonna end it here, and I'll catch you later. And if you got anything to say, I'm sitting here kind of a little maddening in my own head thinking about shit. But if you got anything to say, any input or whatever, put it in the comments below, or whatever, your perception, your depiction on things, and stuff. But if you're going to put something up mean about me, you're going to, instead of, I know that my thoughts are my thoughts. I'm not stupid, But to be like, oh, you're this person and shit's wrong with you, or whatever, I can't. I just fucking can't. Because it's just a thought that comes in my head. It's like I'm so flexible in my thinking, I don't have a real foundation. My only foundation glue, thing about me is, honor. Honor and faith. And that's it. I don't know. And then I'm a Leo, so I guess maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But I'm going to end it here. I'll talk to you later. It is what it is. I don't know if I'll shoot another video today or not. And I'll let you go, and I'll catch you later.